Oyo State Teaching Service Commission has begun the distribution of employment letters to people living with disabilities engaged in teaching jobs in the state. The 150 newly recruited teachers were presented their employment letters at a brief ceremony held in the Commission's office in Agodi Secretariat, Ibadan. At the event, Pastor Akinade Alamu, chairman of the Commission, said that the recruitment was done with the fear of God, adding that 50 PLWDs, in addition to the 150 newly recruited teachers, will be engaged in non-teaching service jobs under the ongoing recruitment exercise.
What is happening this morning is part of the recruitment exercise that we've started almost a year ago. The executive governor of Oyo State, Engineer Seyi Makinde, approved the recruitment of 7,000 school staffers. And we have concluded the teachers' recruitment, and we are giving out letters to those that are successful both at the interview and at the computer-based tests. Today, we want to give out letters to people living with disabilities. We have 150 of them for teaching, while we have another 50 for non-teaching, but that one is not to be given out today because we are still working on it. We know that as human beings there might be one mistake or the other. We are not saying we are perfect all through the exercise, but we did everything with the fear of God, and we know these people have disabilities. They are not as able as we are. So it will be a sin for any of us to cheat any of them. So we are ready to address whatever complaint they have, and we will give those without complaint their letters to go and start job in accordance with the approval of the executive governor of Oyo State, who is passionate about helping people living with disabilities.
Also, the Executive Assistant to Governor Seyi Makinde on Administration and Service, Reverend Idowu Ogedengbe, said the state government had acquired teaching aids through the Ministry of Education to assist PLWDs to be able to perform well.
The Ministry of Education has acquired some teaching aids and some material that would assist people living with disability to be able to carry out their responsibility of teaching within the Oyo State educational sector. So that is already taken care of. We are a government that we are sympathetic, and we are also very considerate of people's challenges. Nobody wants to be disabled. So the fact that they found themselves being disabled does not in any way makes them not able to deliver what they can with respect to the development of the educational sector. So we would give them the assistance to do what they can do also towards contributing to our educational sector.
In his remarks, the Executive Assistant to Governor Makinde on Disability Matters, Mr. Ayodele Adekombi, said the new recruits will be posted to schools that they could serve in until their work environment was most conducive for them.
The time that the school will be all-inclusive, I have advised that they post them to any of the school. And some of our schools that are accessible too, we are there, like modern schools, some of them are accessible. So they will cope for now until we will bring some developmental partner to come and help us, because government will and cannot do all of this. We have quite a number of schools. But I want to assure you that quite a number of them will have to cope with that pending the time that all of the school will be accessible. And again, some of them will be positioned downstairs if the schools are upstairs. For now, my recommendation is that they have to cope. That should not limit them from posting them to every school, because they must not post them to only handicap school. They can teach and train in any of the schools.
A mother of one of the beneficiaries, Mrs. Grace Adeju, had this to say.
I first want to appreciate the governor of Oyo State for his kind fatherly gesture to have put in remembrance people living with disability. It is my advice for people living with disabilities who are beneficiaries of this kind benevolence to show the public, to show the state, and to prove to people that there is ability in disability.